hang in there. We've got this. Ride this wave of energy like you fully remember why you're here on earth right now. Don't let yourself get sucked under or lost in it. And even if you do, use this moment or any moment where you have that observer awareness to bring yourself so much love and grace and compassion. And remember that this too shall pass. We are navigating some treacherous waters together right now. And I am so in it right now that I almost didn't make this video, because all I've been asked to do over the past few days, especially with this eclipse and all of these crazy energies swirling around right now, is just hold myself, be in stillness, invite in presence. And that is an incredibly challenging thing to do over a long period of time. We've been slowly mastering it over the past few years, but right now it's like the intensity of the need for that has picked up. Like nothing else feels right other than sitting in stillness, holding myself, going into meditation, taking things slow. And the only reason this video is being made right now is because when I thought about how I didn't feel like doing anything, I felt something a little bit off, and I realized it's because I was picking up on this part of me that feels called to be of service right now. This part of me that feels called to be connected with community at this time, because even when we are holding ourselves and we're called to do so in solitude, and the things that we're facing, we do have to face alone, well, with the help of our spirit guides and our angels, but without other humans around typically, we can feel inspired and energized, revitalized by understanding that we are not alone on this human plane, that there are other souls going through this exact same thing as us. And even if some of the details differ, that we're in this together, collectively raising the vibration of humanity by holding ourselves deeper than we ever have before, by being able to tolerate the discomfort within us more than we ever have before. And I just felt called to get on YouTube and make a video because I really want you to know that we're in this together. And I just felt like I really needed to connect with you guys at this time. So there are 3 messages that came through of things that Spirit really wants us to understand about this time right now, collectively, this time internally, what we're navigating, what we're going through, and how we can use this information to surrender even more, to ride this wave instead of getting pulled underwater, instead of feeling like we're drowning in all of these emotions and all of this pain and agony and sorrow, but to allow ourselves to feel what we need to feel and still remain rooted in the remembrance of who we are and why we're here on earth. So the first thing that Spirit wants us to know about this time is to really understand the shift that is happening with this wave of divine feminine energy reemerging on the planet. We, over the past several years, have started to remember the importance of divine feminine energy collectively. It's been expanding. It's a phrase that more people understand than ever. More people are starting to try to embody than ever. And that is because many of us know that humanity has primarily functioned in masculine energy for a while, what some might refer to as toxic masculine energy or imbalanced masculine energy. In order for humanity to be in balance, to operate in harmony, we need both feminine and masculine energy to be in balance. It can't be one that overpowers the other. We need to understand the importance, the value of both, and dance with them. And this first happens on an internal level. This is not something that we force. In fact, force is the very opposite of divine feminine energy reemerging. And something that I've personally noticed on my journey is that as much as I've wanted to invite in this soft, receptive, flowing energy into my life, it has felt incredibly uncomfortable. And when I am called to be in my divine feminine energy, I feel like I'm doing life wrong on a subconscious level and sometimes even a conscious level. I feel like, oh, I'm not energized right now. I'm not feeling passionate. I'm not wanting to output. I'm not wanting to do anything. I must be out of alignment. Things must be wrong. This is exactly what I've been feeling this week. I haven't wanted to create. I haven't wanted to output. And I am very diligent right now about only creating, only getting in front of this camera or in front of my canvas or in the kitchen, whatever it is that I'm wanting to create, only doing it when I feel that deep green light to go. And I haven't been feeling that. And so what Spirit really wants us to understand is that we're still practicing, honoring the importance and the bliss of stillness, of yin, of allowing ourselves to just be. Now, this won't always feel painful or difficult. In fact, the very essence of this is to feel like ease and to feel natural to us, to feel like we're in tune with our body's natural rhythms, because we do need those phases of creation and doing and being in our masculine, and we also need these phases of stillness and rest and being in our feminine. But we're being asked to really catch ourselves in the stories that we tell when we are going into that state of rest. Right now, we are being asked to really surrender into that, even if that's going to last for longer than your mind would like it to. Because things have been so out of balance, it's likely that you've been slowly mastering the art of rest, the art of stillness, the art of turning inwards, the art of allowing. But we're being called at an even deeper level. And I don't know about you guys, but as I've been waking up every day, feeling pretty tired, feeling like, oh, I'm not really inspired to do much, I've noticed this voice in my head that tells me something must be wrong. And then when I sit in stillness, I feel these waves of discomfort and grief and pain that logically I might not really even know where they're coming from. There could be a few surface level triggers that tell me where they're coming from, but it feels so much deeper than that. And that in itself makes me feel like something is wrong, something is off. But the message here is to remember that just because something feels uncomfortable doesn't mean that you need to try to fix it. Just because you're sitting in those emotions that you spent your whole life trying to suppress and avoid and get rid of doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. In fact, it is quite the opposite of that. And the way that those two things pair together with divine feminine energy reemerging and those uncomfortable emotions reemerging is that inviting divine feminine energy back into your life and back into the collective comes with a process of grieving the loss of joy and peace that we find in that place of deep stillness, grieving the loss of the connection that we were meant to have to ourselves and that we are meant to have to ourselves, being with the pain and the suffering that it caused us to live so out of balance for so many lifetimes. That's why being in your divine feminine energy, that initial wave of entering into that we're still in right now, doesn't feel like softness and flow right away. It doesn't feel as blissful and relaxing as we might assume it should be. That doesn't mean we won't get there or have glimpses of it, but we're being asked to really understand that as much as we want to call that divine feminine energy forward fully and embody the Empress and be in that receptive mode, that uncovering those hidden, lost parts of ourselves will come with deep processing that we have to do. And I've just been really sitting with the Empress archetype and the energy of the Empress and just asking her when I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or there's wave after wave of heavy emotions, and I've just been sitting and lounging around all day, but it doesn't feel peaceful. I've been asking her to show me. Show me how you would deal with this. Show me how you would process. Show me how you would hold yourself. And I think the thing that is coming through actually right now at this moment is to see yourself on your throne. See yourself as so valuable and really see the work that you're doing for the world, the work that you're doing for yourself as pure gold. See it as productive, as creating a masterpiece. You are creating an internal masterpiece right now. So that is the first thing that Spirit really wants us to understand, is because we are bringing balance back onto earth, it will require a grieving process of how long we've been out of balance and how much we've suffered because of that. How much we've believed that we have to force everything. And our loss of connection to our divinity, because we've believed that we have to do and take action to make things happen. And we've forgotten the balance of doing and co-creating with the divine and allowing, receiving. We're remembering how to do that right now. So have patience. The next thing that came through was something that actually came through from a reading I was listening to from True Path Tarot. I love her reading. She just has the most gentle energy. And she pulled the cheetah card. And even though she didn't say this in the reading, this was what came through for me, was that she was saying that things were moving really fast right now. And I was like, that's funny because I've been moving really slow. And then I heard Spirit say to me, energy moves fast when you move slow. I'll say it again. Energy moves fast when you move slow. Slowly and deliberately. And then I saw the turtle. So slow and steady. Only taking action when it feels precision aligned. I feel like I get this opening and expansion in my heart, what I meant to create. Like when I asked about creating this video right now, I felt the green light. It felt good. But when my head is like, oh, we should create, we should be doing something, we should exercise, we should do this, and I'm really called to stillness, I feel a tightening. I feel like I would have to force it. And I am not doing that anymore because I know that that just pulls me out of alignment. And even if I do, if I'm not perfect, if I do something that's out of alignment, I always remember that just in one split second, I can bring myself back by closing my eyes, sitting down and asking, where am I called right now? And I think sometimes we have a hard time with this because we literally don't know how to be in our divine feminine. So when what's in alignment is that stillness, is meditation day after day. Spirit says meditate, meditate, meditate. And we're like, oh my God, it's so uncomfortable. I need to do something. I need to get my mind off of all of this. I need a break. It's okay to need a break. But just to remember that bringing this divine feminine energy back into our hearts, back into balance is going to be uncomfortable. But that energy moves quickly when we move slowly. And that all of the action that we've taken thus far will have magic surrounding it when we pull back, rest, go inward, and let the divine co-create with us. So that's what we're learning to do right now. So just remember, whenever you feel like you're not doing enough, tell yourself, energy moves quickly when I move slowly. And the last thing that came through last night, and it just cracked my heart open. It just made me feel so much more empowered to keep going on this journey, and it's probably the most important thing I'll share in this video. Do not tell yourself that healing will look like this forever. A very common notion or belief in the spiritual and healing community is that healing is this eternal journey. There's no end to it. And there's something in me that recoiled every time someone would say that with such certainty. And I have a different take on this. Not that I believe that the healing journey necessarily comes to an end, but I do believe that it evolves. I do believe, and Spirit told me to trust myself on this, because this is something that there are many other people here on earth who we believe this in our hearts, and we're afraid sometimes to let ourselves believe what we know to be true, which is that it will not be like this forever. This heaviness, this constant processing, this is the wave that we are in collectively right now. But it will not be like this forever. It will not be as hard forever. The healing journey may not ever end. But I don't even want to call it a healing journey. This is the journey of being, the journey of growing, the journey of experiencing this life, this soul. That may not ever end. And the sun is coming out as I'm saying this, but it will evolve and the sun will come out. And as we change internally, the way that we experience emotions, the way that we experience triggers, the way that we experience lessons will change. And I believe that there is an era of peace coming. And as I let myself believe that, I feel so much more empowered. I feel so much more capable of moving through these times. Because to imagine that life will just be this one big dark cloud over my head, it makes me want to give up. And that's how I felt my whole life, that there was just this darkness. And that everyone said, well, that's just life. Life's just hard. But what if there is change coming? And this is not about getting attached to things being easy, but it's about allowing yourself to surrender to what is, to be with what is, to hold yourself through that pain, through that time of the dark cloud being over you, and to still believe that peace is possible, to still believe that change is happening and it is coming. And that there will be a time when we remember who we are so deeply, that we are so connected to the source energy within us, that we are so connected to unconditional love, where we feel more balanced, and where we are able to navigate this human experience from a completely different level of consciousness that allows us to feel so safe, so protected, unattached, and surrendered in a way that helps us to, again, ride these waves with even more grace and even more efficiency, and to see the beauty and the blessings in all of it, even those lower vibrational emotions. I'm calling in a version of my life, a version of life here on earth, where there doesn't have to be so much pain and suffering, where I can feel stable and peaceful and in bliss most of the time. And I'm not saying that it has to be all of the time, but where those emotions are so strong within me, are so stable within me, where I'm so connected to myself that that is reflected in my external world. So I really think it's this balance of not being attached to things being perfect by any means, but also allowing your heart to believe, allowing yourself to believe that that is possible, that peace is possible, that sustaining that energy of bliss and those higher frequencies is possible, because it is our belief in that that will create it. So don't let yourself tell yourself this old story that things have to continuously be hard. It may not always be easy on the outside, but the stronger we become internally, the more connected we become to who we truly are and why we're truly here, the easier it will be to navigate this human experience. the more easily we'll surrender to these lessons and these experiences that our soul came here to learn and evolve and grow and expand in the way that we want to. We won't have to feel this energy of stuckness so frequently because we will remember who we are. We will be plugged back into our full power. And we will be doing this beautiful dance with Source, the Source within us, to create the reality that we want to create. And I just felt so inspired when I tapped into that, because there was a while in the beginning of my spiritual journey where I was all about manifestation and positive thinking and raising my vibration. And then that led me here to this deep healing journey of understanding that I cannot force a positive mindset, a positive vibration. You cannot fake that. There is work to be done. But it is important to still align your beliefs with the reality that you want to create. Like I said, it's a dance of surrender to what is and still believing in what your heart knows to be true. So don't tell yourself that you have to suffer forever. Don't tell yourself that it's going to be this dark and this heavy forever, because that is exactly what will keep us in that energy. And you're free at any given moment to invite a new belief system in. The key, and I think this is why people say that the healing journey is ongoing, is because if we get attached to the healing journey ending, then we can't be with what is. We can't show up for ourselves, and then we get stuck. I believe that the healing journey will evolve. I believe that our human experience will evolve. And if that resonates with you, if that helps you to feel more hope and more peace, then I invite you to believe that too. So I hope you found these messages to be helpful and supportive for wherever you're at in this process right now. Trust these ebbs and flows. Trust when you're in that divine masculine energy and you're creating and doing and expressing yourself in that way. Trust when you're being called to go into stillness. Be with that discomfort while you're there. Remember that energy moves fast when you move slow. Believe in this era of peace, deep co-creation with Source, balance, play, manifestation, magic, new earth energy. Believe in that beautiful, beautiful timeline, that energy that we're anchoring in, while also letting go of attachment to it at the same time. Do this dance with me, because we are truly changing the world through changing ourselves internally and holding ourselves so deeply at this time. And if you're feeling like you need more support right now, I actually felt called to also make a meditation right after this. So I'm going to get recording that right now. By the time this video is up, it will either also already be up, or I'll be in the process of editing it and putting it out very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. That meditation will really just be to help us enter into this energy of trust, to be in that yin phase, connect to ourselves more, and to hopefully navigate this time with a little bit more presence and ease. And I love you guys so much. I'm so, so grateful to be here on Earth with you at this time. And I would love to hear how this resonated in the comments, what your current experience is like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.